There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Woo! Yes. Yes. Thank you all. I appreciate it. I am on. It is 1:38. So, oh, look at that. Washington State calling me. Shocking. So, not really shocking. Yeah, I know, bro. I'm sorry. I had to feed the kid, get him already, and he takes a bit to eat. So I apologize for being late. But hey, at least I made it in. I said between 1 and 2, so I at least made it for that part. So I apologize to you guys that I am late. That is true. So I am sorry. But we are about to get into this. Just let me do one more thing here, and then we will be good to go. Whoops. This phone, I'll tell you what, ticks me off sometimes. Then again, that's all technology. I appreciate that I'm forgiven, brother. Appreciate that. All right, there. And then put that to the public. Post that. Okay. So, all right. We are about to get in about Bigfoot. Or, like I was right, caveman. And like drunk was right, Neanderthal. So, we're about to get in it. I have everything here. So, we're going to get into this first part, and then we're going to get into discussion. So, let me bring that up.
What's the new evidence now?
And then, like I said, I have a whole bunch to talk about with all this stuff. So, it's going to be crazy. Just let me find the right one. Here we go.
Does Bigfoot really exist? Well, now there is a man called Snake the Bigfoot Hunter who claims he has found actual Bigfoot remains. He has this 8-foot, 300-pound body in his possession. He's even nicknamed it Dak. Snake says he found the remains in the Adirondack Mountains in 2024, even put them on display at last year's Great New York State Fair. But here's the wild part. Snake claims he sent the specimen for DNA testing, that the results showed the body has 58.5% Neanderthal DNA and 41.5% human DNA. Snake says that those tests from Cornell's veterinary DNA lab prove that this creature is a Neanderthal-human hybrid. Now, the Adirondack Mountains have been known to be a hotspot for Bigfoot or Sasquatch sightings, but there are a lot of skeptics out there questioning Snake's discovery. So we decided, let's go to the source. Charles Stewart, better known as Snake the Bigfoot Hunter, joins me now. He's also the author of the Bigfoot Bible. Thank you so much for taking the time. First, how did you find these remains, and what made you think initially this could be Bigfoot's remains?
Well, I found it west of Old Forge Central Adirondack Park. And the reason I found it was just being in the right area where I could smell it, because this body was decaying. And I just followed my nose deeper and deeper and deeper until, bam, there's this 8-foot-long, 300-pound specimen in front of me. And this thing was sitting in a poison ivy patch and just was absolutely disgusting. And based on what we figured out, this was dead probably about 2 days when I had found this specimen, okay? And what was interesting is next to this body were some larger footprints. And after speaking to a couple other experts, we determined that one of the causes of this specimen's death was probably from getting bludgeoned to death by a larger Bigfoot. So
two.
Yeah, absolutely. And this could have been over territory or mating. We believe it was probably due to mating because this is a male specimen we have, and this is around 18 to 20 year range, and we figured that out by the dental decay.
That's what I was going to ask you. This DNA testing, what exactly was the testing, and what was it done on? The hair, teeth, soft tissue? What exactly?
Yeah, we had blood, hair, and fecal matter, and we just submitted it all and got that done through a friend of mine who worked at the Cornell Veterinary Bio-DNA lab, and the results came back. As you mentioned, 58.5% Neanderthal /Denisovan, and that I had to do a little bit of research myself to figure out exactly what's going on. The Denisovan is a Asian kind of Neanderthal. It's mixed with 41.5% human, and some of that's indigenous. So at some point they did cross over the Bering Land Strait and have been in the Americas. So what we have there is, a very dangerous, aggressive. We know they attack each other, and they could definitely attack and hurt humans.
So there you go. There you go. So 100% was right, as I knew I would be. Neanderthal, 58% Neanderthal DNA, 41.5% human DNA. Interesting. So, if they're saying that this one died from another one, was bludgeoned to death by another one, a bigger one, think about that. So not only do you got one that's found dead, but you got another one that's the one that caused the death. So think about that. Everybody, think about that. That proves my theory that still to this day, things are existing that they are claiming don't. Now, if I had a clearer picture, you guys could see that his face, that Bigfoot's face, was of human. Now, his body, of course, full of hair, but if you think how they live and move from place to place, I'm pretty sure most of them live in, areas that ain't going to be, discovered. So, colder areas. A lot of people don't go in the snowy areas, so that'd probably be why the hair to keep them warm. That part I was not expecting. The part I thought would be some kind of deer skin, bear skin, something like that they would cover themselves, almost like the stories you hear, kind of, of cavemen and some movies that you see. But this, at least I had the right part, that it was, and drunk, you had the right part. Neanderthal, and human DNA. It's a proven fact. Right there it is. You can look it up. And he was on the news, different shows actually, talking about this discovery. And I knew something eventually would happen. And then he was even afraid before to bring it out, because he was afraid either it would be taken or they would have came after him and made him disappear. So natural fear, of course, when you have something of that magnitude that's going to bring truth out. But I don't think as much anymore because of the release of the UFO and extraterrestrial files that are being put out there. So, like I said, this is only the one little step that we're getting to. What you don't understand is we're going to be moving on to the next step, which is mermaids. And then the next step, and the next step, and the next step. Everything's going to come out down in one piece. It's all going to come out because, in honesty, they're probably getting tired of getting caught in lies. So it's probably easier to control the situation by releasing it, and they still be able to control it. And you got to understand that's what our government's always been about, is control. The silence people, the NDAs, everything. Like, it's all about control. So, but for something that still exists today, so you can't say, oh, yeah, well, no, that stuff was, killed off or died off or whatever. Well, how is that possible if Neanderthals are still existing? Actually, I was going on YouTube, brother. I was going on YouTube just searching, like I like to follow some people, and I was like, I'm going to find some new people to look up, and then I came across that news clipping on YouTube, and I had to watch it, and then just so happened it was marked for Facebook too, so the Facebook Reels. So, unbelievable indeed. Unbelievable. And then I dug into it, and there's a whole bunch of shows and everything this guy is now on. So He's becoming pretty famous. Oh yeah, appreciate that, bro. Yeah, it is a nice find. Something that we were discussing too. That's what's crazy, that me and you were discussing about the possibilities and our thoughts. You know, our thoughts on that. And I apologize for my wheezing, guys. If you hear me wheezing, I'm all right. I'm all right. I just don't have my medication and that. I've been trying all day to find a way to, get that, and it's starting to act up a little bit more. So don't worry, everything's fine. But yeah, it was definitely insane to find something that confirmed me and your thoughts. In our opinions, it was actually an opinion that me and you had, and to find out it was true the whole time just blew me. I was like, oh man. So I did have to bring that to your attention one of these times when you came on here, and I was like, oh, look. So 58% Neanderthal DNA, 41.5% human. Insane. Insane. So confirmed, cavemen still are existing today. So therefore, that would confirm other things still existing. Like I said in my last stream this morning, there is evidence of 3 dire wolves, and these were prehistoric wolves. Monstrous wolves, the size of grizzlies, sometimes get the size of a polar bear. Ancient back in time, but yet somehow they are still existing. There's 3 known sightings, 3 video sightings of these dire wolves. Then you have Japan. Boom. Found an island, or I think there was 3 islands they found, 2 or 3 islands they found with dinosaurs on them. But that's not all, folks. That was scrubbed clean from the internet. If you come on here and you be like, oh yeah, I remember that. What the? And you go and look, scrubbed. There's another thing that is being talked about now. In Africa, in the swamps, these are old newspaper clips, and I wish I could, get this because it's kind of hard to do on my phone. Hopefully I get that fixed. But in old newspaper clips, it states that in the swamps of Africa, dinosaurs are living. And this isn't that far. This is back, oh God, I think it was 1905. I believe it was 1905 that newspaper clipping was brought out. And it showed a long neck. Get it? A long neck. Insane. But do I believe it? Oh, 100%. 100%. We've got things on this earth that we cannot explain. But if we truly believe that everything is wiped out, that would be insane too. Somehow, some way, things have gone, because we wouldn't exist then. I'm telling you, if the earth would have been completely wiped out of everything, nobody would exist. Earth would not have nothing on this planet alive. Maybe plants when it grows back eventually. I don't know, because look at Mars. Look at Mars. Mars, you can tell, was at one time thriving. One time, but it's high in radiation. You can tell. I mean, that the red planet, come on, that's more of radiation than that. A lot of these places that you see that have red ground and earth is mostly scored and scoured with radiation poisoning. That's what's funny. That's how you know. Because if you go to Hiroshima, I've seen people do it. They go and they take that radiation detector. There's nothing. Do you get this, everybody? Nothing. But yet they swear up and down they dropped a nuclear bomb, and that it's no one's allowed to go there. Why? I think everything is done for a reason. There was something going to show up. They had to do something, even though it might cause, injury or worse. They had to do it. and it was to keep something hidden. Think about it. They do supposedly nuclear tests in the waters all the time. Am I not right? The Navy's always dropping something. But why only in certain areas? Why so close to shores, too? That isn't a place that you do testings. If you were going to do some kind of testing, you would go way, 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 way far out in the ocean where no one can see it. Not even planes. And you would do it. But they're doing it in the open. And in places that is where people can see. Because it's something else they're going after. They're not doing it for the purpose of, oh, we're just going to, nuclear do these test runs here, and that's for everybody to see. Come on, something like that would be top secret. If they're testing a new weapon, testing detonations and stuff like that, it would be. Yeah, it is interesting, brother. They're bombing something that is there for the purpose of keeping it hidden from the people. This is not just me talking. This is coming from sources within the Navy that have told me this is what's going on. Now, they have not specified yet what it is, but like I said, they want to, but they want to do it on here. Not only are they going to talk about it, they have pictures, they have video, they have recordings, they have documents. This is why I'm pushing for everybody to share and get people to subscribe, because these people want to come and share everything. It isn't just to come in here and talk. They want to show proof. They want to show evidence. And that's what I'm about, showing proof and evidence. Right there was proof. News and show proof of Bigfoot actually being what I and Drunk said. Caveman. A Neanderthal caveman still existing with also human DNA. Come on, man. Wake up and smell the coffee. I get tired of people that says conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy. Really? Really? Maybe some things are conspiracy theorists, but I'm not. Exactly. Wake up. Wake up. You guys are going to the ones that called me a conspiracy theorist, appreciate the lurk, brother. The ones that call me a conspiracy theorist, you're going to find out that folklore and mythology been real the whole stinking time. The whole time. And then I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh that you didn't believe me and sat there and I don't care if the government calls it, but when you call it to me, it's disrespect. Because I know facts and I know what's 100% real and not. So I call it out. I'm a straight shooter. Drunk knows that. That's why do you think this man is constantly on my stream watching and listening? Why do you think he pays attention? He wouldn't do that just to do that. He's doing it because he knows I'm speaking the truth. He knows I know stuff. There's other people that come on here and you see that comment on here. Now, some of them are like that conspiracy theorist stuff, but what they don't understand, it's real. It ain't conspiracy. It's not conspiracy. Conspiracy, you guys got the wrong term. Conspiracy is just the thought. Almost like a fantasy. Okay? We're living in reality, people. We're living in reality. There's things out there that you don't know about. There's things out there that you do know about, but still exist to this day. And it's going to blow your mind, because I'm going to tell you something. In the Amazon, there's a snake. A giant snake. Okay? And we're not talking like the snake of Anaconda, like that movie Anaconda. We're talking about something bigger than that. We're talking about something more massive. But it's a snake. It's a prehistoric dinosaur snake. Do you guys know what it's called? hit up the chat if you do. Because I'm going to tell you something. It is alive and real as can be. Yeah. Do you remember that movie Jurassic World when it first came out and it showed that giant alligator, monster in the water? Hope you know, folks, that's real. That's an actual real dinosaur that's still alive to this day. An oil rig caught it on camera going by in the water. Yeah, underwater camera, Underwater camera caught this monster from Jurassic World, the very movie, and maybe that's where they got it. I don't know. I think that's what it is. I think they got it from that. But, yeah, 100% real. This dinosaur is still existing to this day. That is why I know that another animal, another vicious creature that lives in the ocean is still alive, and I'm about to prove it to you with another video. Get ready for this. I hope Drunk's back in here because I'm about to shock the hell out of you with this one. Yeah, right there it is.
Alright, so what's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. Alright, this I want to see. Let's take a look at that. It was taken by NASA, and it caused some immediate concern amongst the environmental community. Alright, first blush, it looks like a giant oil spill, right? That was the fear. Yeah, there's a lot of offshore drilling along the Brazilian coast. Fortunately, though, it turned out to be a swarm of microbes known as Marioneta, and they're not hazardous to marine life. Why was this brought to your attention then? Well, during the initial investigation, the agent who was studying the swarm noticed something out in the water. Okay, kind of a speck. Yeah, well, at this resolution, it's a speck. When they zoomed in, though, they got this. It's a little fuzzy, but I'd say that's a shark. And not just any shark. If you look at this other satellite photo I brought, it was taken at the same resolution of a school bus yard in nearby Sao Paulo. Now, those are 40-foot buses, and when you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark. All right, let's ask the obvious first question here. Do you really think that this is the same animal that was spotted 2 months earlier on the other side of the ocean at Cape Verde? Look, that's a 3,000-mile trip, and it sounds like a lot, but great whites have been tracked going 1,500 miles in a month. So for Megalodon, that would be nothing. Also, sharks are known to revisit old haunts. Great whites, for instance, have been tagged leaving the east coast of the U.S., going on a random winding trip through the North Atlantic, and then returning a year later, almost to the day, to the same spot that they were tagged. So similar behavior from Megalodon makes complete sense. If, indeed, this is Megalodon.
Do you think the Megalodon does still exist? I mean, it sounds like a crazy...
So, what do you guys think of that? The Megalodon. The Megalodon. Still existing in the waters. What do you guys think? I mean, come on. It would be real, right? Okay. Well, guess what? It is as real as can be. Real as can be. And hang on. Let's see if I can get this one to come on as well.
The unsettling footage, originally shared on January 2nd, 2025, quickly went viral, amassing tens of thousands of likes and sparking intense debate over what might have been hiding below. With no clear identification of the creature, viewers were left speculating wildly about what it could be. A handful of users leaned into the sea monster angle, joking that something prehistoric or undiscovered might be lurking in the depths.
And that's real footage. Real footage. It's not just a Megalodon living in them waters. All right, everybody, I'm going to cut this one short. I appreciate y'all. We're going to get more into this along with everything else at between 6 and 7 o'clock tonight. That will be my longest stream. That is going to be the hour to hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if we can push it. Maybe. I don't know yet. I do got other plans with some people that are going to be streaming their stuff, so it all depends on what we do and how we do it. But be prepared, because like I said, tonight's going to be a long stream, and we're going to get deeper. I just want to give you guys something to think about. So this next stream will be about Megalodon and this so-called other creature. And this ain't just the other creature. That's why it's going to be a long stream, because there's other ones that I'm going to show you. Just want to give you a food for thought on that. So if aliens and UFOs are 100% confirmed real, and Bigfoot now, aka Bigfoot, I should say, caveman, is real, what else is? Am I reaching, or is it fact? Have a great day, everybody. Look forward to see you tonight. Goodbye.